with legendary trackers. He and his team have found and killed 30 man-eaters.
Going after big cats, I've been doing it for almost 40 years. The biggest challenge is to identify out the delinquent animal from amongst many good animals, and then taking whatever action is necessary to be taken.
This decision to bring in expert hunters to kill the tigress doesn't sit well with local forestry officer Banik Brahma.
We have just 1,700 tigers left in India. So this is the last remaining population of a Bengal tiger. So conservation status is very critical. In a case of human-animal conflict, human takes the precedence in terms of importance. See, if the government has decided to eliminate the tiger, for us it's a part of duty. The shooters, I could get the sense of most of them wanting name and fame. That's what I felt. I may be wrong.
I made an offer to the government that if they needed my assistance, I was willing to do so in an honorary capacity. Any person who's a wildlife lover would naturally want the animal to be captured. But I also feel that sometimes it's absolutely necessary to shoot it. When you see the anguish and you realize that it needs a very special breed of people to do it. And unfortunately, there's no course in any university which teaches this. It's usually handed down from a master to a pupil. You have to get into the mind of the predator. You have to think like the animal. And the first thing you have to do is you have to identify the territory in which the animal is working.
This is the best place to hide here.
We studied the terrain, we studied the maps. And we are very, very suspicious that the animal is between two areas known as Chopra Sot and Dholkhand Sot, yes.
This region, on the northwestern side of India's celebrated tiger reserve, Corbett National Park, is within 2 miles of the nearest village. The tigress could kill again at any moment. To cover as much ground as possible, the 9 different hunting teams head out separately. One group has a very personal stake in killing the man-eater. Indian princes Kunwar and Nawab.
We've been involved in destroying of 4 man-eaters. Oh, we've been living here for centuries, and this is our area, our forest, and our people are being plagued by this, so it's sort of a moral duty to come out and sort it out.
You see all these villagers living here, just now they're not working. So the whole area is terrorized.
These guys are tracking it down. We are looking into it so that nobody gets hurt. He doesn't come out charging. So we are waiting for jungle to give us clues. We are looking for them. Pug mark.
Pug marks are basically imprints of the paws, one of the paws, the front or the rear, the left or the right, paws on soft ground, and it leaves a very distinctive imprint. It's almost like a fingerprint.
Small idiosyncrasies in the tracks which the tigers leave are sufficient to identify individuals. So you could identify based on a splay in the toe or a crack in the pad or just the size and shape of the pug mark and how the tiger walks. You could identify individuals, and it's an art.
As the hunters search for the man-eater, clues from the tigress's gathered pug marks reveal something unusual that could help to identify her and reveal the motive behind her killings.
Her left rear pug mark is trailing. Like when you walk, it's the impression of the left rear hind is less. It's an indication that there is an injury there.
And that could very well be a reason for a tigress to not be able to hunt wild prey and actually hunt prey which is easier. Human beings are the easiest thing to hunt on. Human beings don't run that fast.
Left, right.
But even with the pug marks showing the killer recently passed through this area of forest, the trail turns cold.
The tigress has disappeared. We are not seeing her fresh pug marks. We are not hearing any calls. The jungle is quiet.
They thought it was a cakewalk in the beginning, but patience that you need to hunt a tiger is not a cakewalk.
Still, the pug marks they found could prove critical. Over the past month, since the tiger took its first victim, Head Forestry Officer Banik Brahma has collected data on all the man-eater's footprints. Now, he hopes the clues he's found and some cutting-edge tracking technology will give him the edge he needs to capture her safely before more innocent people die.
We didn't have human resource also who are experts in this field of chasing tigers. So I contacted the Corbett, field director also. They were kind enough to send expert. I think at least 8 of them came.
These conservationists from throughout the region are eager to help locate the tigress for a safe capture. Brahma's plan is to trap the animal in a steel cage.
Somewhere along the fringes also, I think I will request the trackers.
But to do it, first, he and his team will need to find her. And the area they have to search is enormous.
We are sitting in a location which is about 1,300 square kilometers. If you're looking at a territory that large, it's not as if, you'll say, all right, let me take a quick spin here, I'm going to find this tigress here.
Ready? To aid in the hunt, his team includes experts trained in the use of the latest tracking technology.
Downward, perfect. Oh, beautiful view, yaar. Kya sunlight hai. It's heaven.
Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs.
I have heard about UAV drones and all being used in the defense. But as far as I'm concerned, this was the first time that the UAV drone was tried out for tracking an animal. Of course, some forests are very dense and we cannot see the undergrowth. So some of our friends, they have tried the thermal, camera also, using the drone also.
While one group searches by air, another team hits the ground with camera trap specialist Sudip Banerjee. He's skilled in the use of motion sensing still and video cameras. He and Brahma determine the best places to capture an image of the tigress.
Ultimately, the question is, what is the identity of this tiger? You cannot establish an identity unless you see a picture of the tiger. With a camera trap, there's a thermal and motion sensor in front of the camera that activates the camera day and night. If you move in front of the camera, a flash occurs, it's activated, and the animal is digitally captured. We'll be installing as many camera traps as possible along the border between, say, this Corbett and Najibabad forest.
But before the team is even able to finish setting their traps, the tigress strikes again. 2 more villagers, a man and a woman, die working inside Corbett Park 2 miles southeast of the previous attack. One of the victims is Mother Harnandi Devi.
She was working in the Kalagar workshop. So she was working near the foothill of Corbett Tiger Reserve.
वो अगले दिन काटी पहले इनके जंगलात वाले आए यहाँ बोलने आए वे तो हम हर साल काटा करे वो पहले उनकी तो वो कबाड़ काटा हमने 2 घंटा जंगलात वाले हमारे साथ रहे 2 घंटे तक.
Working inside the Corbett Reserve can be an enormous risk. But an even greater risk is leaving the safety of your group when a man-eating tiger is on the loose.
And it seems she ventured out a little deep inside.
चीख आई उसकी थोड़ी जैसे उसने पकड़ा ना भाग के तो हमें चीख आई थोड़ी घूम में थे हम सामने नहीं है उसके चीख आई तो जब आवाज़ दी उसे तो उसका आवाज़ नहीं निकला बार बार हम बोलते रहे आवाज़ देते रहे बहुत देर हो गई मिलके सबने डंडे काटे दांती ही हम पे सब पे पत्थर उठाए जब हल्ला काटा हमने सबने जब कपड़ा दिखाई दिया तो फिर उसने झांदा है बांसी का और बेल ही उसके तले को झांक के देखा तो जब वो
Harnandi's covered in claw marks from the struggle, and her throat is slashed. Her fellow workers are horrified.
डरी है अभी लोग हमारे तो न जाएगा मैं तो डरी है हम तो नहीं जा रहे हैं.
The Corbett authorities, they came and met me. They very strongly, convincingly, they told me that they have another male aberrant tiger. So they attributed this kill of Harnandi Devi with that male tiger.
Lots of controversies have cropped up. If the kills that took place in Kalagar was done by a male tiger, then how did the male permit this tiger to pass through if they are two separate animals? Because they guard their territory very zealously. It is definitely one animal. That's my personal view. It is one animal which is responsible for all the human kills that took place in the UP side and Kalagar Tiger Reserve. It's also obvious that it is unable to stay inside the sanctuary for some reason.
The Corbett is the largest tiger reserve in the Tarai Arc landscape. It is like the Yellowstone of India, you know. It's a gorgeous landscape with the northern part flanked by the Himalayas. It's very conducive to having high density of prey populations, and that's why Corbett has the highest density of tigers in the world today.
The population in Corbett is enormous of tiger. Average of Indian, tiger population is 5 per 100 square kilometers. But in Corbett, you will find 17 tigers per 100 square kilometers, which means there is a conflict in the community of tigers also. So definitely they'll push the weaker ones towards the periphery of the forest. So there comes the challenge of all this stray tiger or whatever conflict, human-animal conflict.
Te invitamos a esta playa a conocer acerca de la vida de un doctor.
Soy Chris, ¿cómo estás?
Y sus pacientes.
Le está costando mucho respirar. Esto parece un clásico signo de una reacción alérgica.
Poco comunes.
Y si ven alguna inflamación de cualquier tipo, obviamente me llaman.
Tenemos tu número en la nevera.
En Bondi Beach, Australia. Dr. Brown, veterinario australiano. Nueva temporada, esta noche, a las 9, en Animal Planet. Bengal tiger, known as the mysterious queen, is still on the loose. The death toll is now 8. The public is terrified. Any one of them could be next. As day turns to night, expert hunter Ashish Dasgupta won't wait for the tigress to come to him. He and his team return to the forest, hoping to encounter the man-eater when it's on the hunt in the dark.
Night shooting is preferred while going after predators. At, let us say, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night, which is prime time for a predator to move around, you will possibly come face to face because that's the time he's out also stalking. We are using a method which is normally not followed in game hunting, in sportsman hunting, which is using a light and hunting at night. But when you're hunting a predator, all is fair. These are 3 million candle power searchlights which have a very distinct beam which is designed to blind a leopard or a tiger up to a distance of maybe 1,000 meters. It gives us the advantage of being able to visually view the animal we are going to target. Some say it's dangerous and they wouldn't want to try it. But I have had successful experience in this method of hunting. Jack all.
Still, even with all of Dasgupta's years of experience hunting man-eaters, after 2 weeks, he's unable to find any sign of the tigress.
We could not find anything that would convince us that the man-eater was still there. There were tigers there, but the man-eater was not there. When you know something is not existing, we have no business to be there inside the forest, and we should leave it undisturbed. That's what I believe. So I just figured I have no further business here, so I left.
They were combing the area day and night. Definitely the tiger can sense such a huge pressure. I did not see them go, but today if you ask me, yes, definitely I was happy. So then we could have a good attempt to capture her.
Then, just 2 days after the hunters give up their search, Brahma and his team receive word one of their camera traps has picked up the image of the killer tigress. It's a huge breakthrough, but it could also be a sign she's back on the hunt.
If again attack happens, it's going to be a big trouble for all of us. The place where we got a picture of the tiger, that was, I think, less than 3 kilometers from the human habitat, the village. So it was, yes, a sense of excitement was there, but a little alarmed a bit also.
He shares the image with Dr. Yadvendra Devjala, an expert in tiger stripe identification.
The good thing about tigers is that they have unique stripe patterns. So if you could photograph a tiger and record its stripe pattern in a digital format, you could compare that using softwares across several thousands of pictures. It's just like your fingerprint, basically. It's pattern recognition software, which allows you to do that.
The database produces a positive match, and her identity could provide a further motive for the killings.
They've cross-matched the tigress they found in this area with the tigress that was in Kalagarh in 2012. The tigress was very frail in 2012. In 2014, the pictures they found of the tigress, she looks much healthier.
In her formerly frail condition, younger, stronger tigers could have pushed the mysterious queen out of the forest into people's homes and villages. Another possible reason for her to prey on humans other big cats have avoided for centuries.
I think in the last 200 years there are no tiger attacks in that region. So people are caught off guard. I don't think they would believe that it is a tiger also, even if they see it. But when many people started dying, they chose to believe.
But before Brahma has time to make use of his new camera trap evidence, he gets multiple reports of tiger sightings in the area. The first is an attack miles away from the camera trap location. This could mean the tigress has already moved on to a new hunting ground. She may be too cunning for him to capture. The victim, Dharmendra Singh, was sitting 10 feet up in a tree when the tiger leapt up out of the sugarcane on the hunt for prey.
A tiger attack, a tiger roar can make the blood of the best man turn into water. When it starts attacking human beings, the person who relates the story puts in the chill and the fear of what he felt to all the people he reports to.
उधर से भागता आया यहाँ चढ़ा इस पे और ये पकड़ने के निशान है देखिए इसके और यहाँ से फिर पलटा.
If the deadly tigress attacked Dharmendra here, far away from the camera trap location, Brahma has been searching in the wrong area, allowing the killer to take more victims. But he begins to suspect Dharmendra's attacker was actually a leopard, not a tigress. He needs solid evidence. To determine the size of the animal, he measures its stride, the distance each foot travels in a single step.
The strides that we have measured, 57 centimeters, it seems to be of a leopard. Most of the villagers do not have a sense of the difference between leopard, tiger and cheetah, so they use the same terminology for all. I would say I'm quite sure it's a leopard.
It's a wild goose chase, but Brahma has another lead to follow up. The second incident is a car accident involving a tigress, and it's close to where the killer's been stalking. He races to the scene. The killer mysterious queen's reign of terror could finally be over.
Pueden escucharte, olerte, verte, y aunque no eres su presa natural, a veces pueden atacarte. Este domingo, un pez hambriento y feroz que puede moverse por tierra. Luego, los pescadores
Mi nombre es Dr. Jeff Young. Tengo 70,000 clientes. Es una locura.
Tenemos código rojo.
Cuando los dueños no pueden llevar a los animales a la clínica, yo voy a ellos. Es divertido y emocionante. No hay duda, está embarazada. No puedo dejar de ayudar a un animal en problemas.
Tú lo mantuviste con vida cuando nadie más quería hacerlo.
Esto es lo que he hecho por 25 años. Esto es lo que amo.
Dr. Jeff, veterinario. Nuevo episodio este sábado a las 10 en Animal Planet.
Man-eating tigress is on the loose in northern India. On a tip from local villagers, head forestry officer Banik Brahma is heading to the scene of a car accident involving a big cat that could be the killer. On the scene, he discovers it is a big cat. But it's not a tiger, it's a leopard. The killer is still on the loose.
When we are overcome with something, fear, everything else looks like, the same thing to us. So yes, people can be mistaken because they already have, preconceived notion about some impending danger caused by a so-called tiger.
When you go out there looking for information, and all you get is rumors and stories with no definite proof, it confuses the hell out of you. Because you get out in a day and you meet 20 people, and all those 20 people have a different story to give you, and none of them can substantiate that story.
Then, tragedy strikes again. Another villager, Lal Singh, dies in the border region of the forest. And there's no mistake, it's a Bengal tiger. The attack takes place even further outside Corbett Park than before. Proof the predator's hunting ground is expanding.
ये घटना ये लगभग हमारे पिताजी सुबह को जानवर लेकर निकले हम उन्हें ढूंढने के लिए निकले जब ढूंढने के लिए हम ढूंढने 11-12 बजे उन्हें ढूंढा उसके बाद आ गई बारिश और बारिश आने के बाद हम जब कोई दूर चल के आगे बोले थोड़ी सी दूर तब देखते तो फिर
The tigress has dismembered Lal Singh. Only his torso remains intact. With plenty of time to feed undisturbed, she ate her fill.
ये मेरे पिताजी हैं जिन्हें 6 फरवरी में शेर ने मार दिया ये क्या पता साहब ये तो बताते थे कि हमने काफी शेरों को देखे और शेरों को हटाए भी भगाए भी उन्होंने ये क्या बताया इन्हें जब इसी वजह से इन्हें थोड़ा सामना भी करा अरे ऐसे डरपोक के आदमी कौन सामना कर लेता
Two months since the killing started, with the body count at 9 and the man-eater becoming more and more bold, the pressure on head forestry officer Banik Brahma to stop the tigress is greater than ever. Pug marks and camera trap photos reveal the area where the stealthy predator may still be hiding inside Corbett Park. The next step, strategically placing tiger cages to trap the beast.
We brought the cages and I started tracking the pug marks and identifying where we are going to put the cages.
But the mysterious queen may be too smart for a trap like a tiger cage.
The tiger is a very wily animal and they're very wily about anything man-made. Many times we have found pug marks and it has viewed the bait but just not entered the trap. He doesn't do it. That animal is sharp.
And then, with pressure to capture the killer queen at its peak, Brahma may finally get the break he needs. A camera trap captures not a still photo, but a video of a tigress stalking close to where the first camera trap photo was taken. And it looks like the mysterious queen.
The tigress was moving during the daytime, 2:30 and 11 o'clock. You see, man-eaters, they usually hunt during daytime because human population and cattle, are found during daytime.
It's all the evidence Brahma needs. And he can't afford to wait for the killer to enter a cage trap. It's time for a stakeout in the tigress's territory.
The elevated platforms in the local parlance, they call it as machan in India. Basically, it's a wooden platform where you have to stay during the night or the day.
The chances of getting an animal sitting on a machan is very high by tying a live bait in that place, maybe a goat.
Still, no plan is foolproof, and the forestry department faces one more big decision that could seriously impact their success. When arming the shooter in the machan, will they attempt a risky capture with a tranquilizer dart? Or will they use a bullet and put the beast down?
Some people, I don't know, use the term between the devil and the deep sea. You have a duty towards the people of this country, and you have a duty to conserve wildlife also. You see, a tigress has a future.